We're making all the laws up. We're making the laws up for how we interact with each other and what's okay and what isn't okay. We're making all that stuff up. The first step is getting the game, getting what's actually happening, because that's what starts to take the legs out from under it, right? It's like, wait a second, what's true? What's true? And most of what we think is true is not true. And most of what we think is some sort of written law in the universe is not. We make it all up. We're making all the laws up. We're making the laws up for how we interact with each other and what's okay and what isn't okay. We're making all that stuff up, right? So there's another place to go, and there's another way to do it, and it's very simple. It just requires relinquishing being right about your world, and that part is hard. But it's simple but not easy, right? So here we go. As you look with open eyes upon your world, it must occur to you that you have withdrawn into insanity. This is what it's trying to get us to do by talking about the insanity, to look at it, to look, if you talk about it, you're putting attention on it, you're outside of it. That's the power of this, right? So wait a second, there's this insane thing we're all doing. When you're talking about it, thinking about it, you get to see, you're now outside of it. Now you now have the possibility of looking on the world with open eyes, not with your made up stuff that you're projecting. As you look with open eyes upon your world, it must occur to you that you have withdrawn into insanity. You see what is not there, and you hear what makes no sound. Your manifestations of emotions are the opposite of what the emotions are. Everything's upside down and backwards, remember, right? You communicate with no one, and you are as isolated from reality as if you were alone in all the universe. In your madness, you overlook reality completely, and you see only your own split mind everywhere you look. Wherever you go, there you are, and there's your projection. If there's misery in you, you'll find misery outside of you. That's the deal. That's the dealio. God calls you, and you do not hear, for you are preoccupied with your own voice. The Course says the ego speaks first and speaks loudest. You're talking to yourself all the time. There's no room for God's voice. This is why you stop, drop, and ask. You stop, you pause, you interrupt the moment, right? You drop down inside, away from the nonsense, and you ask. In that space, that little space, there's the possibility of actually hearing God. Truth. It's a practice, right? God calls you and you do not hear, for you are preoccupied with your own voice, and the vision of Christ is not in your sight, for you look upon yourself alone. Christ is that part of us, the light in us, the love in us, that God extended to become us, the truth of us beyond the illusion. That's the Christ, and it's in all of us. It is all of us. We don't see the Christ. We don't see Christ. We see our projection of the self we created. That we're only seeing our own projection. We're seeing ourselves everywhere we look, and we're attacking it. And the vision of Christ is not in your sight, for you look upon yourself alone. Little child, would you offer this to your father? Little child, would you offer this to your father? For if you offer it to yourself, you are offering it to him, and he will not return it, for it is unworthy of you, because it is unworthy of him. Yet he would release you from it and set you free. His sane answer, the Holy Spirit is his sane answer, tells you what you have offered yourself is not true, but his offering to you has never changed. God's offering to you has never changed. You are still his holy child in whom he is well pleased, perfect in every way, uncorruptible. You are, you can't be harmed or damaged. You can't sin. That's what God offered you, and that has never changed. That's what this is saying. His sane answer tells you what you have offered yourself is not true, but his offering to you has never changed. You who know not what you do can learn what insanity is. This is what, when Jesus was hanging on the cross, please forgive them. And he more likely said something like, I forgive you, or God help me forgive them, for they know not what they do. This is what he was talking about. They don't get that they're projecting themselves, their craziness onto me, and they're attacking themselves on me. It's doing as much or more damage to them than to me, because I'm awake. I know the truth of me. I know I'm not a body. They're harming themselves and they don't know it. That's what he was saying. They know not what they do. They don't get what they're doing. They think this shit's real. You know, he says in that section at the beginning of the course, like, it's obvious I didn't do anything. I did nothing but heal people and help people. That's all I did. Everything else is a projection onto me, right? So thank you for joining us for today's quick video of the Course in Miracles Discovery Meeting. If you want to watch the full version and be able to jump into the live stream and participate, please click below and join the Miracle Makers community. We are here to make miracles together, to make miracles happen for you and for the greater community as a whole. So please click below, become a member of the Miracle Makers community. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.